Dig it.
Slow Drag with Remedy. Ballyhoo and welcome. The Passion Project continues. My name is Remedy Robinson, and this is an appreciation. This is an exploration of linguistics, language, and the sensual art of espionage, as framed by the peerless poetry of the modern-day master, Elvis Costello. Today's slow drag is with Chewing Gum from Spike, released in 1989. The songwriting is credited to Elvis Costello's birth name. To say it's a piece of sheer imagination seems to undermine the notion of creativity. Every piece is certainly wrought from a place of expansive fancy, yet Chewing Gum combines a casual observation with a distressing piece of trivia to present the fictional story of a culture clash over the meaning of love and romance. The result is a harrowing, if not comical, tale of conspicuous consumption in the underbelly of humanity. In a word, it's a gas. With their cardboard hands by their sides, here's a naked man and lady, and they're yours to cut out and keep, and you can dress them up maybe. They don't know just who they are or who they're supposed to be. You can make them happy or sad, or assume their identity. Notice that all that has transpired so far in this piece equals a blank canvas, a white piece of paper in which to create a story on, or punched out pieces of interlocking cardboard ready to be formed into the shape you want. This is less of an introduction than it is a list of supplies. These first four lines are unique among the succeeding verses in this piece. They are glued together with a fairly rare structure for Mr. Costello in an AA meter of lady, maybe, be, and identity. And while the use of the word lady certainly fits the rhyme and the narrative of this piece, it's interesting to note that it's not a word that's used, at least to my knowledge, in any of his previous pieces. I think of Party Girl, of course, and Girls Talk. They spring to mind, as does A Woman Wouldn't Understand It from Poor Fractured Atlas. And Why Can't a Woman Be Just What She Seems from Why Can't a Man Stand Alone? So if there is a lady hiding in any of his pieces, please let me know. So here they are in the departure lounge. It's the gateway to the east. She's just another mail order bride. She doesn't know he's a kinky beast. Now he gives her a picture of Maradona and child. She wants to roll and rock as he spills his beer over her, bumps and grinds as he repeats, Bangkok. All right, so now the story starts to take shape here in this international terminal of our imagination. The concoction of time and place nestles among the business of finding love. There's a building in China that's called the Gate to the East. It's a twin tower that meets up at the top, giving it the moniker of the Pants Building. It was completed in 2016, so it was probably not the inspiration for this reference. Nevertheless, here, East meets West. She might be a mail order bride and new to the game, but really, do any of us know a kinky beast when we first lay eyes on them? Everything else in this verse goes about as well as their introduction. The first wonderfully lost in translation moment of this first act comes courtesy of the Madonna and Child, replacing the Virgin Mary or even the pop singer with Maradona. Diego Armando Maradona was the Argentine firecracker who went on to be one of the best soccer players in the world. He passed away in November 2020 at the age of 60. We all have our own religion, it seems. Next, the bastardizing of the term rock and roll with a clever switch that serves the rhyming pair well. This helps drive home the point that the lingua franca of their exchange is not words, but motions. Originally coined to describe the movement of a ship at sea, the term rock and roll would soon evolve into a more sexual connotation throughout the early part of the 20th century. It wasn't until, according to some accounts, 1951 in Ohio, USA, when DJ Alan Freed began using the term to describe a genre of music. And finally, in this verse, as he spills his beer over her, provides a few details that didn't need further elaboration. Either vertical or horizontal, the man looms large over the lady, an example of the inequity that infuses their relationship, perhaps. Rock and roll, bump and grind, this could be considered relatively harmless dance moves. But that's not what many might be thinking. And to end the verse with a homophone alibi is brilliant. There is a chance, however slim, that the man really is lauding the treasures of Thailand's capital city and therefore sidestepping any other perceived vulgar suggestions. But then again, that's not what many might be thinking. There must be something that is better than this. It starts with a slap and ends with a kiss, begins with you bawling, and it ends up in tears. Oh, my little one, take that chewing gum out of your ears. This chorus deftly captures the poor sequencing of events that might accompany a mail ordered shotgun type situation. The slap before the kiss, denoting no honeymoon period, and if you use the homophone rather than the synonym, then the bumping and grinding sex or bawling, BALLING, comes first and only leads to tears. Or if you describe the synonym of hard crying, BAWLING, that turns into tears, then it begins with too much emotion that eventually trickles out. The chorus is repeated 3 times throughout the piece, encouraging the listener to find as many meanings as they care to. She might as well be in the jungle. She might as well be on the moon. He's away on a business trip in Dusseldorf, and she's becoming immune to the lack of glamour and danger in the West German city today. The nearest she comes to the dynasty life he promised her is a Chinese takeaway. East and West continue to commingle in this third verse. These long, grammatically correct passages are a hallmark of Mr. Costello's writing, comparing and contrasting, bringing the story up to date and into sharper focus. The disillusionment of the fantasy as it rubs up hard against reality. The lack of glamour is a pity. The lack of danger is something else altogether. And though he only taught her 3 little words, it doesn't matter if they're dirty or clean. He can only control what they look like. He can never possess what they mean. This mention of the disconnect between image and meaning is an excellent time to bring up the Sapir-Whorf hypotheses, or what is called linguistic relativity in its weak form. Not surprisingly, Mr. Costello has a fantastic intuition about this. This weak Sapir-Whorf hypothesis addresses the correlation between thought and spoken language and how it influences the way we think and speak. There are 2 approaches to consider. Either language does not affect what is possible to be thought, or what we are able to think depends on the words we are able to use. In short, is it possible to think or feel something that we don't have the words for? There is much debate about this hypothesis, as you can imagine, but as a quick introduction, let's assume different cultures refer to color based on their linguistic relativity. For instance, languages with more gradient words for colors are better able to distinguish blue from green by memory. Perhaps if racists stop hurling hateful slurs, their perception might also change. As mentioned, it's a complex hypothesis, so I hope my explanation is both good enough and interesting enough. So he wants to whisper in her ear, all this shrinking nothingness. Something always comes between them. I wonder if you can guess. The shrinking nothingness, I believe, is another allusion to this notion of teaching words for specific reasons. It's a sensational double entendre, truly. I wonder if you can guess, rounds out this verse with a playful yet downtrodden exclamation. There must be something that is better than this. It starts with a slap and ends with a kiss, begins with you bawling and it ends up in tears. Oh, my little one, take that chewing gum out of your ears. Dig it. Again, this has been a slow drag with chewing gum from 1989's Spike. As explained in the annotated Spike found on the informative Elvis Costello wiki page, Mr. Costello once saw a striking scene of two small Asian women with two very large Middle Eastern men. One woman had cotton in her ear, probably to block out what the man was saying, Mr. Costello concluded. That's how the notion of the mail order bride with the chewing gum in her ears arrived. Then there was a TV program that, quote, was about literacy programs in certain parts of the world where one faction argued that they were only being taught words that made sense in terms of the other's propaganda to manipulate them, unquote. That's the additional indignity of warping the meaning of words to suit your agenda. The result is a tremendously observant and unflinching piece. Something unexpected happened when I did a slow drag with this catchy tune. It turned bleaker than I had imagined. There's nothing glorified about this piece, there's nothing mitigated. I've always known what it was. Yet it seems the incredible vocals and lush horns sprinkled throughout was enough to divert my attention. Strip them away, and here's a beautifully told story about a very ugly glimpse into the human condition. And that's it for today's slow drag, my friend. Thank you for listening. So please let me know what you think about the Sapir-Whorf hypotheses and which side of the argument you might land on. Also, please let me know if the word lady is used in any other Elvis Costello songs that I'm simply overlooking. Other gems from Spike you'll enjoy a slow drag with are episodes 10, A Terrible Crime. That's a slow drag with Let 'Em Dangle. Episode 39, The Secret It Arouses. It's a slow drag with Satellite. Episode 55, Even a Scapegoat. It's a slow drag with Miss Macbeth. And episode 65, Chop Up the Chairs. It's a slow drag with the inscrutable Coltrane Robberies. You can find me on social media. I'm in all the usual places. Just search for my name, Remedy Robinson, or the name of my podcast, Slow Drag with Remedy. Also, please visit slowdragwithremedy.com for companion blogs, transcripts, and other useful information. You can find a link to my first novel, The Most Terrible Time in My Life, ends Thursday, there. As always, please take the time to subscribe and give this a 5-star rating, especially on Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much for helping get the word out about this little passion project. Truly, it means the world. So, until next time. Adieu, my little ballyhoo. Slow drag with remedy.